here we go. What is this? Day 4. I just have to say I've got to call my brother again today. If you saw yesterday's video, I had to call my brother yesterday, and I realized after I got to school that it was the 19th of December, which was his birthday. So I forgot to say happy birthday. So after I'm done with this, I'll call him up and wish him or sing him a happy birthday, and then I'll hang up. Anyway, so today the topic that I want to talk about today is how we will our game plan, how we will proceed should I succeed in securing this position, this job overseas back in the sounds strange to refer to my own home country as overseas, but it is in this capacity. So I've made a video. So if I get this job, so just preface for anybody, I realized in another video that I wasn't really giving the background enough context. So this is all these videos are about my efforts and my family's efforts to get back to the States, and specifically a job that I'm flying over to interview for next week on the 24th of December 2013, and if I get it, then that will facilitate our return. So how will we return, assuming that I get this position, that I land the job? Well, we have some experience with this, having done it before several times, crossing the Pacific back and forth. The last time specifically that we went from Japan to the United States, this was in 1992, and gosh, can you believe it's been more than 20 years? And Yumiko and I were young, and we were not married yet. And the way that we did it was I had finished my contract at the language school that I was working at here, a place called IES, International Education Services, based out of Tokyo. And I had and I made another video to talk about this, so I'll link, or I'll include that video below. I'll put a link to it on YouTube and include it below in the blog, embed it there. And but I'll just preface it really. I didn't mean not to preface it. I'll just nutshell it right here. I had about $3,000, I think, and I flew over to the United States. I stayed at my father's house for like 5 days out in Upland. I bought a little truck, and then I headed out to Santa Barbara. Yumiko and I had chosen Santa Barbara off of a map, although we had driven through it, because we knew that going back to the United States was going to be tough no matter what. So we thought, why not pick the nicest place? As long as it's going to be hard, why don't we pick the nicest place we could think of and have it be hard there? So we chose Santa Barbara. And so I drove down to Santa Barbara, having no connections or history there at all. And I slept on the beach out by by Refugio Beach every night. Camped on the beach, not even in the campground, just sleeping on the sand. And then during the day, I would go in and I would get the newspaper in the morning. This is before the internet, and I would apply for jobs. My strategy being, I'd take the first thing, anything that I could get. I would take the very first one because I didn't have a lot of money. Then get an apartment, and then when I got that set up, Yumiko would come over, and we'd go from there. And you can hear the whole story in the video called "How We Went to the United States" or something like that. Like I said, I'll link to it. But that's basically how we did it last time. We're going to do roughly the same thing this time in terms of sending me over as the M Vanguard to set up camp, establish a beachhead, so to speak, and then I'll bring my family over after that. So, but I'm not going to do so without a job. I have too many responsibilities now, so I have to get the job first before we can do that. And if I don't get this job and I don't get anything else, we won't move. We'll just stay here in Japan, and that's okay too. So here's what will happen. Let's say that I do the interview and that I get the job. I will give notice at work, and I've already warned them. I've told them twice already in the last year that I'm planning to leave, and that they should probably start looking for somebody else. So this probably won't become as a surprise to them. So I'll give my notice and leave. And oh, by the way, this thing right here, this is a sign. They go on the posts here. You can see there. You can't see it. It fell off. It's from here. It used to go up there. And this says actually my community. It says Yada. It's all bent up and screwed up. And I told my wife, I would love to have that as a garden ornament. Because it's been. Oh, here it is. Here. This is the new one right there. They replaced it. Yada 5. And then that's the one that fell down in a typhoon, and it's been there forever. I don't know why it's still there. And I told my wife, wouldn't that be fun to have that take that, because it's just junk. Somebody needs to clean it up and put it up on in our porch or something like that. Yada from home. But we both agreed no. Partially, and for me, I don't really want to have stuff like that. Just a few tokens. I want photographs and memories, but not that. That's kind of over the edge. So anyway, back to the point. If I get the job, I'll head over first And after I give notice here and I'm finished with that, I'll head over, start my work, and then get things ready for the family to come over. Now, we've decided that we're going to live in Torrance, just like we did last time. We actually picked the place we want to live, and then we'll build our lives around that. Community is very important to us, so we always kind of pick the place that we want to live and then find a way to make it work. And for this case, it's going to be Torrance, California. Now, we chose Torrance for a reason. Having spent more than 10 years myself in Japan, and Yumiko spending more than 10 years in the States, we both realized that it's nice to have a connection to the person that's living abroad, to their home culture. And Torrance has the largest Japanese population in the continental USA, second largest in the USA after Honolulu. What's going on up there? All kinds of weird stuff happening with traffic. So Honolulu has number one, Torrance has the second. Lots and lots of Japanese people there, and that's the reason that we'd settle there specifically so that we can have access to a Japanese supermarket. My wife really missed, when we were living in Santa Barbara, there was a little Asian market there, but she just couldn't, it wasn't the right, you just couldn't get the stuff. And she really missed the Japanese diet more than anything else. This is before the internet too, and she missed things like television and the like. She could get Japanese videos, but it wasn't quite the same. But we're going to have access in Torrance to a real proper Japanese supermarket, more than one. I mean, it's not just like some place that was made by a collection of Asian markets all in one. This is a real Japanese market. I went and checked it out when I was there in August. I was blown away. Japanese bookstores, Japanese video, Japanese hair salons, Japanese medical services. I mean, it's got just basically everything. But most importantly for us, this is the number one reason why we chose Torrance. The school system there is one of the top-rated school systems in California. The schools are outstanding in the Torrance Unified School District, and these are public schools. And they have a high Asian population, high immigrant population of kids that are coming over from overseas, largely Japanese. And specifically, because of this, the schools have programs such as summer programs and extracurricular programs that help students to come up to speed with life in the USA. Now, a lot of this has to do with the fact that Southern California has a lot of bilingual education altogether, so they have good bilingual services throughout the state. But specifically, Torrance has a lot of familiarity with Japanese people, Japanese families coming over. Like, there's a lot of Japanese companies have their headquarters in Torrance, their U.S. headquarters in Torrance. So a lot of businessmen or women will bring over for a 5-year stint from Japan, and they'll bring their families, and their kids will go to those schools. So they're just like Emily. They would come over. So I've been in correspondence with some of the administrators at one of the high schools that we're looking into, and I've been emailing back and forth and explaining our situation and asking about how it will be for Emily. And I've been reassured that they have lots of students like Emily, that they have a lot of experience with this. They have a summer program that Emily will be able to attend to help her prepare for the coming start of the school year, and help her to place her in appropriate classes that will be suitable for her English level and her of course her age as well. This is very reassuring. So that's what we're going to do. So that's the upside. The downside is that it's going to be very expensive. Torrance is not cheap at all. I'm going to be working, if I get this job, I'll be working in a place called the Inland Empire, which is a large area. Specifically, I'll be working in the Riverside area. And that is like an LA bedroom community. People live in that area because the housing is affordable. You can get a really nice, beautiful house for a very reasonable price, especially now after the housing bubble. I was touring some of the places while we were there. So the people that work in the LA area typically live out in the Riverside area, out in the Inland Empire, and then commute back and forth. They commute into LA to work and then live out there. Now I'll be doing just the opposite. I'll be working in the Riverside area and then commuting to the beach cities. Torrance is right on the coast. It's one of the Bay Area, the Bay cities. South Bay area, that's the word I'm looking for. And I've got another video that's a tour of the South Bay that I did in August when I went back, and I made a video kind of to show my wife what the area was like. She's been there though. So I'll link that below and include that below in the blog. So I'll be doing the opposite. So whereas everybody else will be getting up in the morning, stretching, taking their breakfast, and then driving from the Inland Empire to LA to work, I'll be getting up in the South Bay in Torrance out of the ocean, and then driving against traffic. Now I'll be to compound that. I'll be driving. There's that guy. You see that car several days in a row. I'll be driving in what is voted the very worst freeway in the United States. That would be Route 90. I think it's 91, 90. Yeah, I'm having a brain lapse. 91, I think it is. Voted the worst. It's potholes, lines, traffic, congestion. I may be spending up to. I've been checking out you can go into Google Maps and do course it from the place that area I might be working to where I might be living. And you can check out the time, and it's reliably a rush hour, 1.5 hour each way. So I could be spending, and I've heard that it could be 2 hours each way. So I could be spending literally 3 to 4 hours a day commuting, which isn't much of a problem to me. I mean, I'm basically I'm up at dawn and functioning like this now, and I don't get home until typically 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock at night. Anyway, this is just that will be fine. I'm actually okay with it. That's what podcasting's for. I've done long commutes in the past. It's something that I'm ready for, and I have some contingencies. No, not contingencies. Some plans to help with that a little bit. So the drawback will be very expensive. We'll be stuck in an apartment living, maybe for the rest of our lives, and or a very modest home living if we live in Torrance, where we may stay for a long time. And I'll be doing a heck of a commute, but it will give us the community that we want, the schooling that we want. And I'll get back to the community schooling system that we want for Emily to help her acclimate to the United States. And how gozaimasu. One of my coworkers there. It'll give us that, and we will be. It's funny to pass my coworker while I'm talking about leaving them. It'll give us the environment we want. Now, last thing, community. Like I said before, it's very important for us to have the community, and Yumiko and I are in love with the beach communities. That's what we love about that beach atmosphere. I always say in Southern California, if you want to be about 3 miles from the coastal area, anywhere from the coast, from the beach, that woman was really cute. She was peeking around at what I was doing. Who are you talking to? And then they're surprised when they see it's just me. I knew about 3 miles, anywhere the coastal areas. That's where I like it the best. So living in that coastal area will really be optimal for that. We would love to be. We enjoy the atmosphere, literally the ambience of the coastal community, and just the whole beach lifestyle. I know maybe we're asking a lot, but hey, why not? I only live once. I want to try to design it the best I can. Actually, the ambition is pretty humble. We're looking for a humble lifestyle in a good community that has that's safe and offers good educational opportunities and an atmosphere that our daughter might be comfortable with. There'll be some prices as well, but we'll see what happens. Of course, it's all a dream. Have yet to get the linchpin there, the one event thing to get that job to make this happen. 13 minutes into this, I better go. My coworker, he was racing past. I guess we're a little bit late. I'll call my brother, sing happy birthday, and then I'll be on my way. Start my day. I hope you guys have a great day. Sorry I kind of rushed this one, even though it took 13 minutes. Take care. Bye-bye.